we were taking about a 2 week trip. It was I would call it trains, planes, and automobiles. We took a train to Chicago. We flew to Calgary, Canada, and we were going to catch. I'm a Blues season ticket holder, so we were going to catch a Blues game up in Calgary, and then they had a game the next night in Vancouver. One of our daughters lives out in Seattle, so she's going to meet us there. We're going to spend time with her, and then we're going to take the train all the way back from Seattle to Chicago and then back to Missouri. And so we had just gotten into Chicago. We're just killing time, and Ricky gets a phone call.
I picked the phone up and it's a girl crying. I don't know if she said, "Mom, I've had an accident." I don't know what those actual words were, but it led me to believe it was my daughter. So I said her name. I said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Calm down. Are you okay?" Well, with that, a man took the phone over, according to me, took the phone over and said, "I've had an accident with your daughter. And it's very minor, but she wants to take pictures of my truck. There is no way I can allow her to do that. I tried to take her phone away. Well, then I'm getting it up in my throat." And I'm like, "We taught her to do this. She wants to call the police. I cannot let her call the police." And I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm getting kind of loud and I'm getting mad. And he goes, "You don't understand. I have," what was it in the back?
It was drugs.
He was carrying drugs in his truck.
Several
And
kilos of
he
drugs.
did not, there was no way he could get involved in a police or anything. So she was calling to see if we could help her get out of, that we could talk to you. And he said she got out of hand. So me and my partner, we grabbed her, we bound her down, we put her in our truck.
Basically kidnapped her.
Yeah. I said, "Are you telling me you kidnapped my daughter?"
Hindsight, he was just trying to exert control, wanted to see if I would adhere to whatever, instructions. So he wanted us to get out of security, to get out of the business lounge and go back through security. So we're sitting in the main terminal, with, and we had both phones engaged. He wanted to make sure she was nearby. And we had both phones engaged, and the unfortunate thing, I had my computer. And when we started, doing stuff as far as, he basically got to the point where, "Hey, if you could pay me some money, we'll make this happen." So he started off, it was kind of interesting. He goes, "How much money do you have in the bank?" And I said, stupidly, I said about $3,500. Well, and yeah, that's what she told me. Like my daughter would know this, which she wouldn't know that. Well, and the phone service was horrible. And we're trying to do all this crazy stuff with Western Union and
Well, and it
two or
kept
three others
dropping out.
kept
It kept
dropping out.
hanging up, and he kept calling back. Which, you think about that, he was determined. He
Yeah.
was not letting us go. Because I'm like, "Oh my God, we lost him. Oh God, we lost." And then a couple seconds later, he'd call us right back.
So we finally got to the point where he wasn't paying much attention to Ricky anymore. So I looked up our daughter's work number.
So I go ahead and I call that number, and her boss answers. And I said, "Is she there?" And she said, "Yes, she's here. You want to talk to her?" She gets on the phone. And I said, "Well, we are right now in the middle of something going on. Evidently, you've evidently had an accident and they're wanting money." And she said to me, "You have got to be kidding, Mom. You know better than this." And it was so funny. I said, "I know, but we're going to get it figured out. Don't worry about it. As long as you're safe and nothing's happened, no, we're fine."
There were 3 different money transfer things, and we transferred money to some name in some town in Mexico. But my bank called me, to verify. And I'm trying to think, there was another one.
PayPal would not do it.
Yeah,
When you
PayPal.
told them it
Yeah.
was going to Mexico, they said, "We're sorry, this cannot go through."
Yeah.
The bank
go on.
questioned, PayPal questioned, and I think all these other ones let it go through. There was like, what, 3 different ones that
Mhm.
went through.
It was 3 transactions over a period of about, I'm going to say about 2.5 hours or something. About the time that she verified that our daughter was safe at work, that was about it.
Yeah, you took my money, but you took my daughter.
Yeah.
That's the part that really, to this day, still fries my brain.
We're reasonably intelligent people. If we can get duped, anybody can get duped. This can happen to you. It happened to us. And come up with suggestions to make sure it doesn't happen, like Ricky mentioned before. So I help with the monthly newsletter that at the senior center, and also with the Lions Club here in town. And so we always put fraud facts in. I mean, that's why this one angered me so much, because I hadn't seen it before. Because I usually go through either AARP or some of the other government sites that and just include that in the newsletter. And so we do a pretty good job, I think, at trying to get that word out. It's good to share stories to let people know it can happen to you.